Hello everyone, and welcome to my CBS YNR Full Today channel. Please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Was this really just a simple mistake by some hospital guard? Or are we looking at something much deeper and way more sinister? Think about what it would feel like to wake up in an ICU bed only to see the woman who stabbed you standing over you in a nurse's uniform. Can Jack Abbott actually survive a woman who thinks killing him is the most romantic thing she could ever do for him? I honestly want to know what you guys think, because to me, this feels like the ultimate game of psychological chess that's been building up for 40 years. Right now, the air in Genoa City feels totally heavy and suffocating. It's because the whole system has basically fallen apart. Jack Abbott is lying in a hospital bed
You weren't
like
teaching me a lesson long ago. We weren't even together then.
If you missed the absolute horror of it, Patty Williams brutally stabbed him at the Abbott mansion. She didn't just hurt him, she left him to die on the floor while she played the victim. This didn't happen by accident. It happened because of a terrifying mix of institutional failure and corporate greed. The police actually caught Patty and her shady doctor, Lawrence Markham, at the airport, but she still managed to slip through their fingers. The funny thing is, the police in this town seem to be just for decoration. They exist to make people feel safe while the real monsters are playing hide and seek in the shadows. Patty didn't just escape, the story let her escape because it seems to love madness more than justice. Let's look at this nurse disguise she's wearing. Patty sliding into those hospital scrubs isn't just a smart way to hide. It's a way for her to take back the power she thinks she lost. By dressing as a healer, she's actually mocking the doctors who are trying to keep Jack alive. In her head, she's probably feeling a warped sense of duty. She isn't just there to finish the job, she's there to protect their history together. There is something so chilling about her being that close to him. It's like she feels more connected to him while he's dying than she ever did when they were actually married. We really have to look at this differently. This isn't just an attempted murder. In her mind, this is a mercy killing. To Patty, a dead Jack is a Jack who can never leave her again. It's a way to make sure he stays hers forever in the eyes of the church. It's honestly disgusting that the writers are letting her win this easily, but it's also kind of brilliant from a drama perspective. It shows how lazy the Abbott family has become. They really thought one security guard was enough to stop a woman who has been shooting and kidnapping people for decades. This is classic behavior from someone driven by trauma and control. Patty's mind broke back in the 80s when she caught Jack with Diane, and she's just been stuck in that moment ever since. The nurse uniform gives her the authority her broken ego is starving for. Now, when Patty says, "We are not safe as long as Jack Abbott is alive," we have to ask ourselves who she means by we. She isn't just talking about herself and Dr. Markham. This is the evidence that points right at the Newman Ranch. There is a deep layer of fear here. Patty isn't just acting because she loves Jack, she's acting because she's terrified of Victor Newman. She knows she's just a tool for him. If she doesn't kill Jack, she becomes a problem for the man pulling the strings. This hospital room has basically become a war zone for everyone else's secrets. It's no longer just Jack against Patty. It's the Abbott legacy against Victor's need to hide what he's done. Jack's life is the only thing standing between Victor and getting away with everything. I truly believe Victor is the real villain here. Patty is just the weapon he's using. He used her mental illness to destroy his rival, which is as low as you can get, even for Victor. He's playing on her need for a protector. He gave her the hotel and the clothes just to use her obsession to do his dirty work. It's a total masterclass in manipulation. And why is she using a syringe instead of just finishing him with a knife? It's because a needle is quiet and clinical. It makes it easier to keep the frame up against Diane going. The crazy thing is, Patty is actually crying while she gets the injection ready. In her mind, she thinks she's being forced to do this. She feels the weight of it, but she just doesn't have the moral strength to stop. The needle is like the final seal on all her lies. If she makes sure he never wakes up, she erases the only person who can tell the truth and save Diane. I totally disagree with anyone who says Patty is just acting crazy. She is actually being very careful. She waited for the exact second the guard walked away. That isn't madness, that's the patience of a predator. She's learned that everyone in this town underestimates her. She uses their laziness as her best weapon. While all this is happening, Diane is being destroyed by the legal system. Patty covered herself in Jack's blood and pointed the finger, and everyone just believed her. It's the ultimate evil move. Diane is feeling a level of pain that is almost poetic. She spent 10 years pretending to be dead, and now she's being framed for a real death. The irony probably hurts, and it's why she's so desperate to save Jack. She needs him for her own survival as much as for love. She's been forced into being the hero by a woman who is like a dark mirror of her own past. Patty is doing exactly what Diane might have done years ago. That makes Diane the only person who can actually see through the act. I find it almost funny how bad the police are. Detective Burrow won't even listen to Kyle. Kyle was with Diane the whole time, so he's her perfect alibi. But the police are too busy trying to build a case to actually look at what's happening in front of them. Patty is just projecting her own violence onto Diane. She knows everyone already hates Diane, so they'll believe anything bad about her. Then we have Kyle. He is heading into a very dark place right now. He realizes the whole system is rigged against his family. He isn't waiting for the cops to help anymore. He's becoming a vigilante because his father's life is on the line. You can practically feel the anxiety coming off of him. He's watching his dad die and his mom get arrested. That kind of anger is like a ticking time bomb. Kyle is basically stepping up to be the new head of the family while Jack is down. He's showing that he has the killer instinct he needs to survive in this town. I totally support him taking things into his own hands. If he waited for the police, Jack would already be dead. Sometimes the hero
it's too early to make any kind of predictions, but Virginia Nottingham is the best, and I'm gonna guess that your wife is a fighter.
His hero complex is kicking in because every adult who should be in charge has failed him. While the hospital is a total disaster, Billy is busy making Jill cry at a cafe. Why? Because family secrets are the real poison in Genoa City. Jill is feeling guilty and nervous. She's hiding something huge about Chancellor, and Billy won't let it go. His refusal to hide the ugly history is tearing them apart. They should be together for Jack, but they're fighting instead. This whole thing is like a mirror to the Patty situation. Patty is hiding secrets in a syringe, and Jill is hiding secrets in corporate books. It's just a different kind of murder. Jill's target is Billy's future rather than Jack's life. Billy might be acting like a brat, but he's right to ask questions. Just because Jill is crying doesn't mean she's innocent. It just means she's really good at getting people to feel sorry for her. Billy is dealing with his own trauma. He feels like the company is her favorite child, and his attack on her is just him begging her to actually care about him. Let's talk about that security guard again. He steps away for water at exactly the wrong time. Patty treated that like a personal invitation. There is so much arrogance in the hospital staff. They thought they won because Patty was caught once. They don't realize a woman like her never stops. She just changes her plan. This is a perfect metaphor for the whole town. They're always reacting to what she already did instead of thinking about what she'll do next. They're playing a simple game while Patty and her partner are playing something much more complicated. I am honestly so mad at that guard. You have a billionaire who was just stabbed, and you leave him alone for a drink? It's the kind of soap opera logic that makes you want to yell at the TV. It's called normalcy bias. The guard thinks everything is safe because it looks quiet. That laziness is exactly what Patty needs to win. But Patty finally gets caught, and it's not because of the police. It's because Diane and Kyle have a gut feeling. They feel the air change in the hallway. The look of pure shock and horror on their faces when they see her in those scrubs is the best part of the whole week. Kyle just explodes with all that anger he's been holding back. It's a moment of pure adrenaline. This is poetic justice. The woman who was framed for the crime is the one who physically stops the attacker. It's the ultimate proof that Diane is actually trying to do the right thing. I love that they actually overpower her. It isn't just a talk. It's a physical fight that shows the Abbotts aren't victims. It's a fight for survival, and Patty is like a cornered animal. It's two different kinds of desperation crashing into each other. As the day ends, the tension is just crazy. Patty is leaning over Jack's bed with that needle. She's whispering to an unconscious man like she's on a date. She tells him their last act will stay a secret in the grave. Kyle and Diane are running back to the hospital, realizing they made a huge mistake by trusting the police. That line about not being safe is still in the air. If Patty gets caught, does she tell the truth about Victor Newman? Or does she just disappear back into a hospital, leaving Diane to go to jail? The fight isn't just about Jack's heart beating. It's about the truth being killed with a needle full of lies. So what's coming next? Ashley Abbott is coming back on July 10. When she finds out a nurse almost finished what the stabbing started, she is going to be on a warpath. She will make Victor Newman wish he never met Patty. I bet Ashley is the one who finds the money trail between Victor and Patty's release. Jack is going to live, but what if he wakes up with amnesia? Or what if Patty threatens Kyle to keep Jack quiet? And don't forget Dr. Markham, he didn't sign up for a murder charge. I bet he'll talk the second Kyle corners him. Then there's Victor. Nikki is totally in the dark right now. When she finds out Victor is the reason Jack got stabbed, their marriage is going to be over. That might be the final blow for them. One horrifying moment has changed everything. Jack isn't simply recovering from a violent attack anymore. He is trapped in the very place that is supposed to keep him alive while danger quietly slips through the front door wearing a smile and a stolen nurse's uniform. That image alone says everything about how broken the system has become. Hospitals are meant to represent hope, healing, and second chances, yet for Jack they have become another battlefield. Every beep from the heart monitor feels like a countdown, and every unfamiliar face walking into his room could be friend or enemy. That uncertainty creates the kind of suspense that keeps everyone watching because nobody truly knows who can be trusted anymore. Patty Williams has always lived in a world shaped more by
Mom started having these terrible headaches a few weeks ago.
To blur the line between love and destruction. Disguising herself as a nurse is more than a clever way to avoid detection. It symbolizes how completely she has convinced herself that she belongs beside Jack. She doesn't see herself as an intruder invading his hospital room. Instead, she imagines herself as the only person who truly understands what is best for him. That twisted belief makes her incredibly dangerous because she no longer separates compassion from control. In Patty's mind, protecting Jack and possessing Jack have become exactly the same thing. That warped perspective transforms every decision she makes into something frighteningly unpredictable. Rather than acting out of simple rage, she acts with absolute conviction, believing every step she takes is justified by destiny itself. The hospital staff also faces difficult questions after allowing such a massive security failure to happen. Following an attempted murder, everyone would expect extraordinary precautions to protect one of Genoa City's most recognizable businessmen. Instead, a single opening becomes enough for Patty to move through the corridors almost unnoticed. Whether that mistake comes from overconfidence, exhaustion, or simple human error, the consequences are enormous. Moments like these remind viewers that even the strongest institutions can collapse when people assume the danger has already passed. Evil rarely announces its arrival. Sometimes it quietly waits for everyone else to relax before making its next move. That lesson has become painfully clear as Jack's family realizes that depending entirely on authorities may no longer be enough to keep him safe. Meanwhile, Diane finds herself living through another nightmare altogether. While the hospital struggles to save her husband, she must also defend herself against accusations that threaten to destroy everything she has rebuilt. Years of fighting for redemption suddenly seem meaningless when suspicion returns so quickly. Every decision she makes is questioned. Every emotional reaction becomes potential evidence against her. Despite everything, Diane refuses to give up because she knows Jack's survival represents far more than saving the man she loves. His testimony may also become the only thing capable of clearing her name. That creates an emotional conflict that feels especially powerful because love and survival now depend on exactly the same outcome. Diane cannot afford to lose hope even when the legal system appears ready to condemn her before hearing the full truth. Kyle Abbott also experiences a defining moment throughout this crisis.
I am
For years,
very
he has
happy.
depended on his father to provide guidance during impossible situations. Now those roles begin shifting dramatically. Watching Jack fight for every breath forces Kyle to mature almost overnight. Instead of waiting for someone else to solve the problem, he starts trusting his own instincts. His determination comes from fear, loyalty, and desperation all at once. Every minute Jack remains unconscious increases Kyle's frustration with a system that continues making mistake after mistake. Rather than accepting reassuring promises, he starts searching for answers himself. That emotional transformation could become one of the most important developments moving forward because tragedy often reveals strengths people never realized they possessed. The growing tension surrounding Victor Newman adds another fascinating layer to the unfolding drama. Whether or not every suspicion ultimately proves correct, Victor's enormous influence naturally causes people to wonder how many invisible strings might be attached to the situation. Throughout Genoa City's history, power has frequently operated behind closed doors, shaping events without public knowledge. Characters often discover that what appears accidental actually connects to decisions made weeks or even months earlier. Because Victor has built his reputation on controlling outcomes before anyone else notices, speculation surrounding his possible involvement continues growing. Even if concrete evidence remains elusive, the mere possibility creates distrust that spreads through every family connected to the conflict. Once doubt enters the conversation, relationships become far more fragile than anyone expects. Another fascinating aspect of this storyline involves the psychological battle unfolding alongside the physical danger. Patty's weapon is not simply a syringe or a knife. Her greatest weapon has always been manipulation. She understands how fear changes people's judgment. She knows panic encourages mistakes. While everyone rushes to react emotionally, she calmly searches for opportunities. That contrast makes every confrontation more suspenseful because victory depends as much on emotional control as physical strength. Whoever loses composure first risks losing everything. The hospital therefore becomes more than a medical facility. It transforms into a giant chessboard where every movement carries enormous consequences, and one poor decision can change countless lives forever. Elsewhere, long-standing family conflicts continue reminding everyone that emotional wounds rarely heal as easily as physical ones. Billy's disagreements with Jill demonstrate how unresolved history continues influencing present decisions. Families throughout Genoa City constantly struggle between protecting loved ones and confronting uncomfortable truths. Those conflicts mirror the larger story surrounding Jack because everyone faces the same difficult question. Is it better to protect painful secrets or finally expose them regardless of the consequences? Every character seems forced to choose between loyalty and honesty, making the emotional stakes even higher than the physical danger unfolding inside the hospital. The eventual confrontation between Patty, Diane, and Kyle delivers exactly the kind of emotional payoff viewers hope to see after so much tension. Rather than waiting helplessly for someone else to intervene, Jack's family refuses to surrender. Their determination highlights one of the central themes running throughout this storyline. Courage often emerges when people believe they have nothing left to lose. Watching them confront Patty directly demonstrates that survival sometimes requires ordinary people to perform extraordinary acts. The struggle becomes about far more than stopping one dangerous woman. It becomes a fight to reclaim hope after days filled with fear, betrayal, and uncertainty. Looking ahead, the future appears filled with even greater possibilities. Ashley Abbott's return promises fresh emotional fireworks as she learns exactly how close her brother came to losing his life. Jack's eventual recovery may answer some questions while creating entirely new mysteries. Will he remember everything that happened? Will hidden alliances finally be exposed? Could someone unexpected reveal information